Good morning and welcome to Manic Fishing. Right, I've been working with this company Drift for several years now. I'm already an ambassador for them, but they gave me some stuff about good 3 years ago, and I tried it out, and I'll be honest with you, I love it. And anybody who knows me, if something's not great, I'll tell you it's not great and I won't use it. And the fact of the matter is, I've been using their stuff for years. I don't know if you've watched the last couple of videos. I've been doing quite well with this little baby and I've still managed to keep hold of it. Now this is tied direct. The best way to use a lead head lure, or to use any lure really, is to tie it direct because you've got control over it. But what I'll do today is I'll set it up on a link on a fast clip, so I can switch around. Now what they've done is it's so windy in the marina today. What they've done is they've sent me through a little box full of stuff. As I said, they do loads and loads of different shads. My favourite of all are these, and they're the Drift sand eels, the DRX, and they are literally killer. So they've sent me through some different, they've made a slightly heavier one now, which is I believe this is a 50 gram. So this will be quite good as well, just give you a better action. But I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've been killing them on that. I think that's a 42 gram. I've got some all different colours, sort of sparkly silver. We've got some blue, which are slightly lighter. They've got some quite nice of these sort of candy crush colours. But what they've actually brought out, and I've been going on to Matt for quite some time now, obviously I do a lot of slow pitch jigging, and what they've done is they've brought out this Zeppelin, which is a little slow pitch jig, and it'll literally drop lovely because of the aerodynamics and the size and the width of it, and it'll flutter lovely. It's got two hooks on it, assist hooks on it, so they've got various ones. There's some nice little 40 gram, 50. There's a nice white one here, which is a 40 gram, and obviously I've got a lighter slow pitch jigging rod that will work them better. So what I'll do is, it's extremely windy in the marina. The tripod's been over twice already. I've got my GoPro set up, my other one, my 360, just dangling there. I did try and put it in the water, but it doesn't seem to connect. Every time I put it in the water, it won't connect to record. So I'm just going to have to try and do the best I can today, just to try and show you. There's going to be an announcement in a few weeks' time, something that we've been talking about for quite some time now. Yeah, some exciting stuff coming up where I'll be a little bit more involved in the brand. Not that I'm not already. So we'll just give it a go. I'll try and set it up, and I'll test it. Obviously we're in Mayrot time, you know, even though it's you know, we're sort of midway, the end of May now, but it sort of started about 2 weeks ago, and it'll probably be here another 2 weeks. It just seems to hang around and hang around, and the water clarity is not great, so I'll just have to try and do the best I can. I will be getting out and trying these, but we will be when I get back. I've got to go. I'm going to the Sea Angling Classic. I believe that starts on around about the 19th of June. I'm not fishing it, but I'm going up there to support, obviously. LURES are sponsoring it. They're the main sponsors, and obviously Crusaver I do some work for, and other bits and pieces. So I'm going to go and get involved, but all I'm doing really is me and Skip are going to take the boat up there. We're going to stay up in Port Solent. It's a premier marina, so I don't have to pay, and I'm going to run the media lot around, so I don't want to be out there fishing all day. I don't fish competitions, so we'll probably take the guy out and who flies the drone around, and I go out maybe at the start, maybe halfway through, and maybe at the end, and just do a little bit of stuff, possibly for the other YouTube channel, Manic Boat Adventures, and maybe for this one it's not really a manic fishing video, but we'll do something around it, and definitely some Instagram stuff. So look, what I'll do is I've got 2 rods out. I've got my light Temple Reef 0 rated rod at the end there, which is ideal for these little jigs, and I've got my Tenru injection, which is a 5 to 28 gram casting rod, which will work these lures perfectly. The 50 gram ones, the slightly heavier ones, will still work on that rod, but they'll probably be a little bit better for the other rod, the Bulldog Puppy, which is designed for slightly heavier stuff. But I'll try and do the best I can, and hopefully you'll get something out of the video. I can't guarantee you're showing you underwater shots today, because obviously you need 2 people here. I can't get anybody else to help me today, so I'll just try and do the best I can. So let's get the rod set up and we'll have a go. Now before I start, I'll just show you this. This one's already been tied. This has been tried and tested. Before I start, I'll just show you the little action with this one. So let's see if I can get my other camera working here as well, so you can see it. Now this literally, so see these little wrist flicks I'm doing, when it comes up it dives back down. Look how fantastic that is. Let's try and get in nearer this camera here so you can see it. Now what I'll do is we'll try this, I think this is a 60 gram, and it's almost like a little candy. What I like about these is they've got 2 assist hooks on them, and they look really, really strong. A lot of people have got different theories. Earlier on in the year, you know, I had this arthritis. I started to use like a swivel, which was a swivel's fine, but it can cause more drag. Now they are a little bit fiddly to get on until you get the hang of it. As I said, the wind's not helping me out here today, so what I'll do is I'll just try and connect this one up for you. The correct way to connect a slow jig is actually with a solid ring, but it's so windy I'm having trouble to stand up, let alone mess about, and I want to switch these around. It's a little bit fiddly, so what I've done is I've just put a little lure clip on just for the sake of the demonstration today. So we'll just connect this on here, so that's onto that split ring. And now let's try and see if I can show you this one. So I'll have to turn you around. So awkward on my own, because obviously I'm so used to having Mr. Lingard, Mr. Saltwater help me, and he's not available today. So with a slow pitch, let's see if you're getting it there. With a slow pitch, you just literally, it's about that flutter. Can you see how that flutters? As I said, the clarity of the water. Let's get this one closer to this camera here without jumping it out of the water too much. Now that flutters lovely. And what it is it's actually understanding that jig, how that jig works in the water. And we don't want to hook anything today. We're not allowed to catch fish in the marina. They allow me to do a little bit of testing, but I certainly don't want to be hooking anything in here today. So that one's lovely. As I said, the water clarity is absolutely pants. Can you see how that goes down? Let's try and get it, see if I can get it nearer this camera. Don't know if you can see how that just rolls and pitches, and you know, that's literally got bass written all over it, hasn't it? Right, let's set up another rod now. So let's set up the one of the DRXs, and I'll show you. So I've put a lure clip on this. So this is just a fast clip on this. So let's try this one. Now this is the 50 gram version, which is slightly a heavier one. This is the new one they've brought out, and it's a lovely lemony white. And honestly, weedless is the way to go, because when a fish grabs that, so look, if I can try and show you, when a fish grabs that hook pops straight out and it'll go in. But the beauty of it is because once you've set it back in that body, when that's going and bouncing down across rocks and across other things, the chances of it catching are pretty remote. It could still catch round here, or could possibly catch that bit of a barb, but you've got a much less of a chance of hooking into the reef or whatever. If you get it caught round a rock, or you get it caught round you know, around some sort of structure, you know, you've lost it anyway. And another thing I mentioned to them when I first started with them is that their heads weren't glued, and I always super glued them. But if you notice now, that is solid. So hopefully, I'd like to think that my input has made them do that, because, you know, a lot of the times you'll get a wrasse or you'll get a pollock and it'll pull it, and it'll pull the whole of the tail off. And so what I used to do, you've seen me in a few videos, what I used to do is I used to just put a dab of super glue on that and super glue it. But look, that is solid. So let's get this one connected up. So I'm using my my 10 roux rod, and just literally I've just got a fast clip on here. So literally you just clip it on like that. Once you've used it once, the fast clip, it goes on easier each time. So that's like that, yeah. And so there's no, that's pretty as good as connected direct tide. So let's try and turn you around here again. See if I can get you down so you can see it. So that's the best I think I'm going to do. Now look at this. Let's just tighten that up. This is what I'm on about, is the action when it's coming up is fantastic. But can you see how that dives? Can you see that lure dive with that paddle tail? It's absolutely fantastic. Let's get it up here by the other one. Now you can cast this. I did a video the other day, and obviously I fish on a boat, so I know where them fish are, because obviously I'm looking at the sounder. But if I see birds working, say for argument's sake, you know, a couple of 100 yards in front of me, or 100 yards in front of me, I'll cast to them. But you've no need to cast. You can vertically use these like this. So I don't know, I'm hoping you're going to get it on this other camera as well. But look at the action of that. That is literally fantastic. And I can't really drop it down any deeper because you won't see it, and I can't put my camera under the water because it won't record. As soon as I put it under that water, it won't record. But can you see the action of that? This is why I like these DRXs. These are literally the best. I think they're the best on the market. As I said, I told Matt right from the start, if I don't think your product's any good, I'll tell you. And see that? That's never going to catch on its own. Sometimes you'll get a lure and it's got a solid hook, you know, a hook that's not weedless, and the tail will catch on it. Well, this can never do that. It's absolutely brilliant. So that's the... Let's put you back up here. Sorry, it's a little bit awkward. Turn you around. So that's the DRX. That's the 50 gram. That's the lemon. I think that would be my go-to, because you've got a nice white belly there and a white, and it's got this little reddy pink dot there, which is an attractor. But see how that hook, you sink that hook like that. So when a fish bites, bang, look, that hook comes straight up, and that will engulf it. And these hooks are super strong. And I'll be honest with you, I am a bit of a tackle tart, but I'm not one of these people who I never wash my lures down. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I know a lot of people, they'll put them in a bucket, they'll wash them in fresh water. I clean my rod and my reel down, but I don't bother with my lures at all. That'll just literally be clipped back onto here like that. And it'll stay there like that, and it'll go in the side of the boat, and then the next time I get it out I use it. And then what I make sure I do is I don't have it like that. I make sure I pull that hook so that's down inside there, so there's nothing can catch. And like I say, look, as soon as you do that, boom, that hooks up, and that'll catch that. Fantastic. Right, let's get another colour on. And what I might do is I might see these, look how quick that was. So let's try this. This is a slightly lighter one. I think this is a 42 gram, and this is the candy one. Look how quick and easy it is with this clip. And these are so cheap, these ones. Look, boom, it's on. So it saves tying a knot. So let's turn you around. Let's get you somewhere near here. Try and tilt you down a bit. Right, and I'll show you this one. Basically, they're going to have slightly different action because obviously of the weight. Let's try and get you over here by this one. That's a beautiful one, that. I mean, obviously, the lighter the colour, the better you'll see it because of the clarity of the water. But what I'm trying to explain with the DRX is when I lift that up, see how that dives back down with that tail? Absolutely superb. And you can get away with fishing this. I've been fishing these ones in 7-4 metre tide, which down here is, you know, sort of like almost a 2-knot tide, I suppose. You know, just over 2-knot tide. And it's not like a slow jig, where a slow jig, you need that slow jig to be, you know, really dead in line with you at this angle. With this, you can have this 100 yards away and work it in the tide, and just these little, look, see what I'm doing? See this little wrist flick? Look, just this little action here will make that lure dance. So they're a great one. Right, and look how quick now. Let me try and show you. Look how quick I can take this lure off now and change it. Look. Done. Now, what we got here? Now this one you probably won't see because this is a black one. But so yet again, this fast clip limb, look, boom, on. It's on straight away. Let's put you around here. Tilt you forward. Now these ones, the darker, I tend to find that they work in a lesser light. It's strange. I know it sounds strange. You think that you would have a lighter colour when the water's murky, or when it's darker or less clarity, but I don't know whether it's to do with the shadow or to do with whatever, but a black, a grey, a blue, dark blue seem to sometimes pick up more fish than a white one. I don't really think, in my opinion, like Matt said to me, he said, what colours do you want? I said, I'm not really that bothered with what you send through. For one, I know that they're, you know, all of their colours are pretty good anyway. They've all got like a nice sparkle and a nice shine to them. I mean, that's lovely, because you've got like the dark top, silver head and a silver body, and yet again, look, that's that weedless. So as soon as that fish goes like that, boom, that hooks up. And that caught me then. And then what I do is, when I just check every time after I've caught a fish, I just check that that's tucked down, so that's flush like that, and you'll never catch it. Let's try and show you a slow pitch now, another one. So as I explained, really and truthfully, you should be using a solid ring. You always use a solid ring, but for the sake of the video, and because it's windy and I haven't got the correct split ring pliers, I'm just using this this clip. And I'll be honest with you, this clip isn't going to give you a great deal of drag anyway. So look, boom, it's on. So let's try this. This is obviously a much lighter jig, but you'll see it better. So really, I'm just trying to give you a little bit of content before I go down to this competition, because I haven't got a lot of time. I'm going to try and go out and catch a few smooth hounds. Now this is, I think this is a little 30, but you'll see this one a little bit better. And this is on my little 0 temple reef. Can you see how that flutters? Look at that old baby. Now to me, at the minute, down here, we got a lot of white bait. And the mackerel are chasing that. The bass are chasing it. And obviously everything's chasing it. So let's try and get this one nearer this rod, nearer this camera here. See if you can get some sort of idea of it. See how that flutters? That's lovely. The action is superb. And what you've got to try and do, I sort of explain it to you quite often in my videos, is try these lures out first. I've got the beauty of I can try it out in the Marina, but if you haven't got that, just try it by the side of the boat. Just drop it down, you know, 5-10 foot, and see how that works. And see with little, look, just little flicks that I'm doing like this, I can see how that's working. And then you can give it your big flick and let it go. But look, I think all this needs is little twitching. See how that's flicking? Let's get it over to this camera, if I can. So that's doing some little flicking. Right, I've got one more lure here I'm going to try out. And it's similar to the one that I've been using, that I've been sort of hitting the money with, as you'd say. And this is like a pearl one. So again, this little clip, these are only cheap. Not sure what they are, but what they are, might be a Berkeley, I think. But look, the little clip, it has a like a little indent there. But look how quickly, look, this goes on. Boom, that's on. That ain't going nowhere. Right, let's turn you around again. And if I want, I can make this swim. Can you see that? Can you see? Look how I'm making that swim. These are killer, mate. Honestly, as I said, I've I'm brutally honest with them. I tell them if there's something that I don't like or something that I think needs to be done slightly different, then they seem to take it on board, because at the end of the day, they're manufacturing, they're not out fishing them all day like me. So look at that. I'm trying not to get it up. But can you see that swimming in there with that paddle tail? Look. Look how that works. Look, you can turn that. That's absolutely superb. Well, as I said, for a windy day of trying to get a little bit of content out for you guys, I hope you got something from the video. This one's been working for me, but I tell you what, I'm loving this. I'm loving this lemon. This lemon one looks good, but I think I can retire this little baby now. It's been a bit mullered and bitten about, but we've got his replacement now. We've got my new replacement now, but yeah, I mean, what can I say? The company's fantastic. What I'm going to be doing, as I said, there's going to be an announcement out in a few weeks' time. We talked about it. I think they're just getting the paperwork and the other bits and pieces sorted out. So I shall be doing a lot more stuff for them. I'm not one of these people really who I don't promote anything, or I don't put my name on anything that I wouldn't use myself. And if it didn't work and it was a load of rubbish, I'd tell you. You know what I'm like. I'm pretty straight, you know, straightforward talking. But what there'll be, I doubt it'll be in this one because we haven't got it sorted out yet. But there'll be, I'll be putting some affiliated links in. And the beauty with these is when you buy these lures, a lot of these companies, they'll sell you 2 bodies and 1 head. Well, what is that all about? So if you lose one, you've just got a body. So you've got to then buy another head. With this company, you get 2. They're already done. They're already done and dusted. So if you lose it, you lose it, and you just put another one on. So yeah, what can I say? Drift. They're absolutely fantastic. I'm going to try and go out and do a bit of smooth hound fishing. This video should be out next week, depending on how it comes out with all this wind noise and footage problems and whatever else. So we'll see how it comes out. And then I'm going to be doing some smooth hound fishing if the weather plays ball on Friday. Then I'm off to the Sea Angling Classic to do a bit of media stuff down there. Then after that, my boat comes out. I may be able to get these guys down, Matt down, and do a bit of fishing, and we'll test these out properly. But you've seen me. I use them all the time. You know they work. But we're going to try and get Matt down on a nice calm day. Last time I took him, or not him, I took his media guy out, and mate, the sea was even too rough for me. Poor old guy, never been out before, and literally it was like 1.2 metre swell. So we'll try and find a nice flat day, and we'll take him out, and hopefully we'll catch a few fish with them. And then August the 25th, the boat comes out for a full service. It's had the leg done. It's going to have a full service. It's back in the water the 1st of September. And then I'm making plans. I'm going down to Torquay to fish with David Mortaguy, who I fish with Dave Barham in Weymouth. Me and him are going to go out and do a bit of reef fishing and a bit of mucking about. Me and David get on well. I'm going to try and get a trip on with Matthew Forrester, Joker Jigs guy. I'd like to get that back on, and then I'm going to head on down a bit further. I've been talking to Mr. Locker I think he's Falmouth, but I know he's Cornwall, obviously. But I'm going to go down there, take the boat down there for a week. If he can spare a couple of days, we'll go out and we're going to go and do some fishing. He's promised me he's going to catch, or try and get me to catch, a ling. I know they're not super fantastic fish, but I've never caught one, and he assures me I will. But I'm sure we'll have some fun. John's a great guy. So we'll just have a bit of fun. But listen, I hope you got something from the video. Really hard to do. It's hard enough to do with two of you, let alone on my own, but I can only do what I can do. Thanks for watching Manic Fishing. See you on the next one.